Hi, everyone. This is Shirley from Shirley's World. I see 3 people are here already. Hi, Bumblebee. Thank you for the hints on the Ruby the Free. I'm having trouble loading a couple of those pictures. It won't load for some reason. So I have to try after this. I don't know what the problem is. I'm changing some words. I wasn't even aware I had that top. It looks altogether different in the pictures than mine. Of course, mine's an extra small. Yeah. I was sort of close on the price, though. Hi, Brylan. Riri's here. The gang is here. Yeah, we have slow sales again this week. They came in like one at a time, and that's why I didn't do any of the ship with me, except that last one. Slow there too. Yeah, everybody's complaining of slow sales. I know it's not me. Cindy Conway, hi. Debbie's here, yeah. Yeah, I sold both old and new. Not too new because I haven't been doing any shopping, but fairly new. But I'm going on and I've been going on and doing like 200 redoing, ending, and relisting or sell similar, like 200, a whole page, because they were coming so fast. So they were getting ahead of me. Yeah. So I'm like doing a whole page at a time. I heard some girl on here said that when she does that, she does like 400 at a time. So it can be worn, stretched on the shoulders, which is trending. Yeah. Yeah, I put that. Well, I'm trying to put that picture on, but I don't know what the problem is. I have to fuss around with it after this. I was just talking to my daughter-in-law. She just retired. She has been working. It's a government job. I don't know what it's called, but it's in the milk marketing department. They're all over the United States, but it's a government job. She's worked there since high school. And she's gained extra time. I don't know how, she didn't say, but she's actually worked there 38 years. She never had another job. She loved her job, and she didn't really want to retire. But because of all this stuff with, government jobs being looked at, and so she thought she would take her retirement. A lot of people are doing it, I guess, at her place. So she's free. She doesn't know what she's going to do with herself, except her 2 kids are in high school. They're in sports, and she's always driving them or picking them up or doing something with them. So I'm sure she'll realize that what I realized after I retired, that I don't know how I even had time to work. So I bet she'll get the same feeling. The time just gets filled in, especially when she has these two kids in high school, my grandkids. Mm. Well, the chipmunks have officially chased my car out of the garage, and has to sit outside now. I've given up trying to keep the chipmunks out of my engine in the garage. Nothing has worked. So we'll see if putting it outside works. It's going to be horrible in the winter, but so far it'll be all right through the summer. We'll see. I have to keep track of how many nuts are in the engine. Yeah, so far the chipmunks are winning. This is not good. I might have to get a couple barn cats, adopt a couple barn cats and that are outside cats, and see if they will live in my garage. That is why I didn't have trouble with previous cars when we had some barn cats out there. They lived in the garage. The trouble is I had a heat lamp going in the wintertime for them, and I don't want to have to do that again because heat lamps are dangerous. Took you long enough, but I finally figured out how to sign in with your wrench. Oh, good. I feel safe now. Uh, how about a plug-in heating mat? That may work. I don't know. They don't get real warm. Depends on how cold it gets. I could try one of those. To see where I used to be, when I was into horses, I knew where I could get barn cats, but now I've lost touch. I don't know where I can get any barn cats. We brought two home from the barn we used to be at before we moved into the barn that we were in the latest. And we went, and they were almost feral. We went and we had to trap them. I brought them home. I put them in a cage, a big dog cage, big. And I set them out in the garage so they could see where they were. And it was like I'd set them half inside, half outside for a couple days. They get fed in there, and they lived in there. It was a mother and a daughter cat, Pepsi and Angel. And it was when I had Monk. I have pictures of that somewhere in my photos. And he would lay next to the cage by them, Monk. Yeah, so after they were here for like 3 days, I just took a chance and opened the crate, and they stayed around. So I was feeding them in the garage, so they knew where their food was going to come from, and they stayed there the whole time. The older mother finally passed away, and I finally brought Pepsi into the house so that she was less feral. She became sort of an indoor-outdoor cat. But the whole time that they lived in the garage, I had no trouble with nuts in my engine, my cars. And I think that was probably the reason. Violence, you got a whole litter on Facebook Marketplace for free. One of them is Boots, the spoiled fat tuxedo that you see walking around. I wish we lived closer. I love tuxedo cats. I've had all colors. I love black cats too. Had several black cats. I've had a tuxedo cat. What was its name? It was back when we lived in Parma. Got a bold coyote in our neighborhood. Oh dear. Makes me think twice about the geese egg reduction program for HOA. Yeah. Yeah. We have there's rumors that we have a bobcat around here. I haven't seen it. I thought I saw it once. I saw a big cat running across the golf course, but it was so fast. It looked bigger than a regular cat, so that might have been it. Upsetting the balance of nature. Yeah, we have coyotes around. I've never seen one though. But a long time ago, I think that's probably what took a couple of my chickens. Because they were taken away. Yeah. And something bit huge holes in the netting. I had that Premier poultry netting. I mean, big holes were cut. So I'm thinking it was something big like that. Yeah. Brylan, do you have a guard goose? Are your geese guard geese? What I should have done, and I didn't realize anything about them at the moment when I was buying chicks. I should have bought a guard goose and raised with the chickens. I didn't know. I was new at chickens at the time. I didn't know that was a thing. Yes, for sure. Best part is that they will alert your dog who runs to them for backup. Okay. Yeah, but I think don't you have to raise a guard goose with your chickens? My question is, will they keep the chipmunks out of the garage? Can I have a guard goose in the garage? I know they're kind of messy. Hi, Jane. Uh, You have a flock of geese raised apart, but they keep watch. Yeah. No way in the garage. Goose poop is wet and slippery. Yeah, I know. That's why I stopped feeding the geese that came from the golf course. They came over to this little pond that develops in my yard. It's right out this window, close to the golf green. It's on my property though, and every time we have tons of rain, I get this little pond, and sometimes the ducks will come into the pond from the lake on the golf course. And then the geese started coming because I started feeding the ducks. Well, as soon as I found out how messy the geese were and what a mess they were making, I stopped feeding them all. Yeah. Bumblebee says, we have a very self-entitled tuxedo cat named Sylvester. Oh, that's a cute name. The house is his, and we just get to live here and serve him. Yeah, that's what a lot of cats think for sure. Yes, Maddie just thinks I'm around to feed her, and she wants it now, and she won't shut up. It's hard because she's diabetic, and I can't not give her something because she just won't shut up. Yeah, Sylvester was a tuxedo cat, right? Mm. I would have named one of my cats that if I would have thought about that too. I can't think of the name of the one I had. My daughter would know. Three cats are your bosses, Jane says. Yeah, they tend to be the boss of the house. My dog is sort of scared of her. And my dog keeps her away from her food. But if that cat would run after the dog would run. Because Penny, when I first got Penny chased her a couple times until she turned around once and gave him a little clip on the nose and set the stage for how it's going to be in this house. Yeah. Yeah, it's fun having both together, I think. Well, I sold 7 items on eBay and only 2 on Poshmark. So Poshmark was very slow again this week. Today I went on and I did that closet clear out thing where they'll pay some of the shipping, lower the shipping for the people without you having to pay. And I reduced a lot of things in my inventory by just 10%. It gets them shown. So I don't know if I'll get any sales from that too. A lot of times I'll do that and I don't get any sales from it. I don't think anybody pays attention to 10% anymore. But I don't have real high price things in my Poshmark closet either. Yeah, my things are, the bigger sales are in my eBay store. So let me share my screen. And then afterwards, I can share it again and show you a couple pictures I wanted to show you. So let me do this. Okay, we'll start with eBay. The first thing I sold was on the 1st. The last 2 days of April, March, I didn't sell anything. Those were 2 0 days. Last week, I had like, I think 4 0 days, 4 or 5 maybe even. This week, yesterday I didn't sell anything, and today so far I haven't sold anything. So it'll be 2 days this week. But this little blouse is by Apartment 9. Not a brand I would normally pick up, so I'm not sure where this brand came from. I've had it a while. It went to Florida, and I took a best offer of $10 for this. Okay. The next thing is by Cool, which is a very good brand. This is an activewear brand, usually men's brand, but I think they sell women's too. This is a light flannel shirt in a size small, which is probably why it hasn't sold. And also on the left arm, on the back, near the elbow, there was a hole. So that could be too. So that's why I let this Cool shirt go for $11 best offer, because it was flawed and I've had it a while. Next thing is this J. Crew ruffled button up, half button, I think. Oh no, it's a full button shirt in a size medium, this gold floral, sort of ditzy floral with balloon sleeves. And this sold for $15.99, which was a 20% off sale on eBay. And this went to Salt Lake City. Next thing is this Raffaella 5-pocket pants by women size 12. They're white pants. Now, I'm not sure. It doesn't say denim. I don't know if they just look like jeans and they're just like a chino pants, or if they're actually denim, because it doesn't say denim. Oh dear. Let me get my voice back. Mid-rise straight leg. Excuse my voice. This happens. They're going to Hudson, Florida. And they sold for a best offer of $13. Look, I don't even sound like myself. Okay. H&M maxi shift dress, but this is like the length of a mini dress, but it was so light and button up the front, so I also called it a cover up. It had little cap sleeves and side slits, so it could be like a tunic, I guess. And this sold for $11.99, and that was the sale price I had on it. Went to Jefferson City, Missouri. Here's a J. Jill tunic top, 3/4 ruffled sleeves, size large, blue and white stripes. And this sold for $11.99 in that 20% off sale. And it is going to another Florida sale, Doral, Florida. And the last thing on eBay, I've had this a long time. This shows the front and the back. This is by Kimchi Blue, which is an anthropology brand. It's was like a crocheted lace on the front, and it was totally open on the back like this. So this sold for a best offer of $10 because I have had this forever. I mean years I've had this. So yeah, I was glad to let it go for, at least I got my money back. This went to someplace in California. So the two things I sold on Poshmark was this J. Crew cotton knit top with that ruffle hem, black and white stripe, and it sold for $15, and I netted $12 after Poshmark's 20% fee. By the way, Poshmark's shipping just went up. Used to be $7.95 or something like that. It went up to $8 something. Bumblebee, what exactly did it go up to? It was $8 something. Is it $8.95 it went up to? Went up quite a bit. And the last thing I sold was another J. Jill. This was a very nice oversized tunic hoodie top, pullover top. Had slits on the side and just a nice oversized top. It had pouch pockets in the front, and this sold for $22, and I netted $17.60. And this went to Sterling, Massachusetts. So now I want to show you the shock of something, because remember, this is the first of the month. My total sales, gross sales, $131.79. Lots of selling costs because my store fee, my big store fee of $60 comes out of this, and other fees. So I made a whopping total of $5.90 for the whole entire week of selling these 7 things on eBay. That's kind of sickening. But that's why I want to get out of this contract for this store, which I can't stop until December. It's paid monthly on the first of the month. So this only happens first week of sales. Average sale price was $18.83. So get back here and see if I can show you my other. Well, where am I? Stop sharing. There I am. Okay, let's see if I can get to my photos. Okay. I'm going to try to share the screen again. Okay. All right. Do you see my photos here? I can't see your answers, the problem. Okay. Yeah, okay, I can see your answers. Do you see my photos? Do you see this, my puzzle? I finished my puzzle. Yes. Okay. See? Finally finished my puzzle. This was a fun one to do. It was hard. It's very hard, but it got easier as I was doing it. It was a really hard start, but it got easier uh, as I went on. But let me show you something else here. Here's my daffodils. I have lots of daffodils blooming, so I brought me in a beautiful bouquet of flowers. And they smell really good. They're sitting right there by my chairs. So I wanted to show you those. That's it. I'm going to try for next time. I'm going to try to oh, I don't want to end the screen. No, end the screen. Stop sharing. Next time I'm going to try to pull up some old pictures of things I talk about, like I just was mentioning about the cats in the cage and Monk laying next to the cage. I know I have a picture of that somewhere. But yeah. My azalea bush is starting to bloom. It got warm for a couple of weeks. I mean, by warm, 50s up to in the 60s. And then yesterday it dropped, and today it's been in the 30s and low 40s. So it's cold. Yeah. And my bird feeders need filled again. Bumblebee. I wasn't aware of the increased shipping. However, they are offering a lot of shipping discounts for various reasons. I'm pretty sure I got a note about it, about the shipping. And I think it happened like right away, like a day after they sent me the note. It's $8 and something. I'm pretty sure. Jane sold a handmade wreath on Etsy. First time in a year. Ah. How many things do you have on Etsy, Jane? I've thought of going on Etsy and doing some certain things that I have around here that would go good on Etsy, I think. Yeah, I forgot to bring I have a glass of cranberry juice out there that I poured right for the reason of having it in here. And then I forgot, but I have water. Yeah. 14 things. You have 14 on Etsy. All handmade. I think Etsy started out being totally for handmade things, right? Uh, Now I think you can have things on there that look handmade, aren't really. I've seen some things that I don't really believe are handmade, but they have that look. Believe me, I'm not more in the know. I just happened, it just happened to I happened to, it was an email sent to me about it. Oh, something else about Poshmark. All of a sudden, I started getting a little sound. You know how I used to get a ka-ching on eBay for sales? I don't get that anymore. And I have not been able to fix that, so I get it. But all of a sudden, I'm getting this little sound. It's prettier than the ka-ching, but I get it when I get a Poshmark sale. So I like that. Handmade and vintage. Yeah. Yeah, I have lots of vintage things that I could put on Etsy. I go on Etsy every once in a while and look around. But I've never joined it as a seller. Do you have to, you probably have to do something, I'm sure, something different. Give them all your information. Yeah. Let me get my Etsy thing or my Poshmark things and my eBay things mixed up here because they go in two different places in my file. Brylan's running down to help your mom with laundry. Have a great night if you're done before I get back. Okay, Brylan, you too. Yeah, tomorrow I marked on the calendar I have to do wash tomorrow. I'm going to wait till Wednesday to go to the grocery store because it's Samantha's day that it's the week that we can do anything. It's not a cleaning week. So she'll go with me grocery shopping. It's much more enjoyable that way for me. Mm. Yeah, she makes it so easy, especially in Aldi, that I don't have to pack my own groceries because I'm terrible at that. So this week, hopefully, it didn't start out good here. This is the first of the week, Sunday, and I have no sales so far. But I'll try your way, Bumblebee, and just keep adding to a video. If I only get one thing every once in a while, I'll just record it and then just save it and add to it. So it won't come on every day that way. But you'll see the whole packing. Not that it's anything big. You'll see the packing thing. Supplies are good. Running. Oh, I read that. As of April 3rd, shipping is $8.25 on Poshmark. Still a great deal for priority. Up to 5 pounds. Yes, it sure is. Yeah, it's for sure. If you're even going a little bit far, it's better than even Ground Advantage for anything heavy. And I seem to sell a lot to Texas and a lot to California, which are two far places, and shipping ends up being quite a bit unless it goes my basic below, if I do a really lightweight things, like below 12 ounces, then I have a set amount of $5.95 shipping. So if it's above that and it's a calculated shipping on Ground Advantage, it can get expensive too. You should work to be a Posh Gold ambassador. What do you have to do that? Uh, I've been having my VA Posher thing doing relisting. I've been trying to do it at least every other day, where they delist and then put it on as a new listing, just like when you do it on eBay. Give it a new number, I guess. Jane's sales seem to be to the East Coast. Yeah, I don't know why I have so many going west. But I do sell to Massachusetts a lot. Like New England. I have sold there, but I sell more to California and Texas. There's a list. Take your time. You might be more before it. You might be more earned toward it than you realize. There's a list. I have to look that up. What advantages do you have as a gold ambassador? Who knows what keeps the algorithm happy? Right. It's a mystery. On any of the platforms, it's a mystery. And on YouTube, it's a mystery. Everything. Because it's all, AI. It's all computer stuff. Well, this week, I heard a bunch of crows, and that means there's a hawk in the air. And it was one of the warmer days when my chickens were out in their pen. And so as soon as I heard the crows, that's my alarm goose, is the crows. So I went outside. They were fine, but they were already heading in to their coop. They heard them too. So, yeah, I stood around. I saw the hawk, and I stood around out there until the hawk went away. I've had the hawk take regular wild birds right off my bird feeder, right by my window. They come in. I don't know how they miss hitting the window, and take them right off the bird feeder. Hopefully it puts you in front of more eyes, because you do what Posh values. Okay. I'll have to talk on the phone. Easier than typing. Yeah, that's for sure. My sister says that too. Every once in a while, the phone will ring. It'll be her. She says, I just have too much to say. I can't type this. Yeah. I have my bird feeders close to my windows so I can enjoy, seeing them. And it's surprising that the hawk comes this close. Uh, but when I was talking to my daughter-in-law today, they have lots of deer in their yard. Uh, they have a herd like about 8 that come. And she used to have she used to hang her bird feeder right at the dining room window, and they boldly will come right up to the feeder by the house. But they have a pool and a big deck now. So she doesn't hang it close anymore because she said the birds were pooping all over her deck. They'd sit on the railing and wait to go to the bird feeder, and they were just making a mess. So she now hangs her feeders way in the back, which kind of defeats my purpose. She's hanging them back there to actually feed the birds. But the biggest reason I feed the birds is for my enjoyment. I want to see the birds. Now, yes, in the winter, it's nice if you feed the birds because they can't find food as much if it's a lot of snow. But the other times they can find food. And I'm sure they know where other feeders are. I also got 2 new hummingbird feeders for this summer. And I bought, because I've been getting Baltimore Orioles in the spring or an early summer, they just come for about a month. They like oranges, orange halves, the fruit that you cut. And they like grape jelly. I don't know if it's any kind of jelly, but everybody says grape jelly. So I ordered a feeder that's just for Orioles, and it has a place for you to stick on a couple orange halves and little cups for you to put the grape jelly in. So I have to find a place to put them now. But they don't come till early summer or late fall. Birds do eat snow for liquids, but they don't eat. It takes an awful lot of snow for them to eat, for them to get enough water. So it's always really a good idea, if you can, to have some sort of a bird bath or some way for them to get water in the winter, like when it's freezing out. My bird baths now, because of all the rain, they're full of water. But if that was in the winter, it would be frozen and snow on it, they wouldn't have a place to get water. So that's why I'm saving up to get a bird bath that's heated. Mhm. Yeah. The summer, I don't think you don't have to worry too much about it's nice to have bird baths so they can get water right where you're feeding them. But I think unless there's a drought and you're having a summer that's terribly hot, I think they can get water. I don't think the birds around here have a problem. There's a big lake right over here. Uh, in fact, there's 2, a big one and a small one on the golf course. But I still keep a couple I keep a bird bath at the front and the back. So, gang, that is what I sold this week. Still not very pretty. So I'll try my best to do a video about my shipping videos, but they may not be on every day. I'll have to store them up till I get enough to make an actual interesting video. So the dog has eaten. I had to, or the cat had to act like the cat was going to get to the food before the dog ate her breakfast. She just doesn't. She's not interested in food right now. I have her on Sundays, the freeze dry foods Sundays, very expensive. I had her on Farmer's Dog for a long time, but she liked it at first, and then she sort of wasn't thrilled with it. And it's really good food. I mean, I can eat it. I could eat it. But it had to be frozen. It was a pain in the neck to fix. So I switched her to Sundays. Sales will be better this week. Oh, good. Okay. So I switched her to Sundays. It's a freeze-dry food, which is very easy. Comes in a bag. Doesn't have to be refrigerated or anything. And I started her on chicken. Now she doesn't seem as interested in that. So I edited my next shipment and cut it down a little bit because I have 3 bags of it left. And switched her to beef and see if she likes that better. It'll be something different anyway. So I've never had a dog that's been such a picky eater in my life. So she's napping. So I have to go let her out. Penny, do you have to go out? You have to go outside? Penny, you have to go outside? You want to go out? You have to go outside? A little bit of interest anyway. So I will see you all during the week sometime. Look for my videos. And after I did that 20 ways I learned to be frugal from my parents, I swear, as soon as I ended it and I was editing it, I thought of all these more things that I should have put on. So there will be a second one coming up sometime. I don't know when. When I get it put together. Yeah. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks for coming and visiting with me. Bye-bye. God is good.